Yeah, honey. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Roman Post here, back with some more Genshin Impact. Now, we got the upcoming banner for the 2.3 release. We have two units coming in hot. So, two rerun banners coming. Many of you are familiar with them, some of you may not be, so that's why I'm covering this. We got Albedo, the beautiful, handsome, aesthetically pleasing Albedo Geo original god. And then you have Eula, the beautiful, chilling Shongyun 2.0. I'm going to go over a little bit of the pros and cons. We're going to talk about why you would summon for one and not the other, and kind of just talk about a little bit of like what each one is going to bring to your team if you don't have certain units. A lot of free-to-play unit players don't have like a bunch of units, and we do have Itho, so if you're saving for Itho, definitely do that. But here's the thing: is one of my main points that will bring me to is Albedo is going to be able to buff Itho. So let's keep that in mind. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss here. So Albedo versus Eula. I was about to call him Albedo. Okay. Albedo versus Eula. The benefits of getting Albedo. Homeboy Geo God. He is extremely good at like buffing the shart out of his team. He has low cooldowns. He has low energy like bank for you to be able to cast his burst, which is insane as well. The main point that I want to focus on with Albedo is the fact that he's going to be disgusting with the upcoming units that are coming out. Now, I get if you're a free-to-play player, this is not going to be necessarily an option to be able to summon for all of them. Or if you've been stockpiling and you're somehow a god at saving, then that will be a great option for you as well. You could definitely like buff that. But what he does is increase the Geo damage and significantly increases elemental mastery and interactions with that, with Geo. That will be potentially disgusting on Itho. Now, we don't know a lot of Itho stuff yet as of the point of this video, at the time of this video recording, and we are not sure how he will interact with that. But my assumptions is that Albedo plus Goro, which Goro has a buff that buffs amount, like based off the amount of Geo units that are in your party. So if you have 3 Geo units, it caps out at 3. It does not matter about the 4th. So the 4th you could probably run Bennett or something. So if you run the 3 Geo units, you could have Albedo, Goro, and Itho. And if you want to throw in Zhongli, why not? I mean, they're the Geo gods. You got the 4 Geo daddies over here. I mean, Dog Boy, I guess I don't know if you call him a daddy, but it's up to you. Whatever you do what you want. Yeah, I ain't gonna stop you. But anyways, Goro buffs them, and it will increase buff up to 3 people, and can potentially make Itho insane and be a main DPS. Like this Geo team, can't wait to cover. I'm so excited because I love Geo's one of my favorite elements for those of you that know me. If you don't, that's fine too. But he's gonna be disgusting. So Albedo will have very much usage coming up because they've always kind of left like Geo out in the dust, and it's kind of nice to see that we're getting like mad buffs coming up with this. Point number 2, Albedo just aesthetically pleasing. He has like some of the best hair in Genshin Impact. I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, that one's kind of irrelevant, but that's up to you. It depends if you like like the boys in Genshin Impact as compared to the girls. I mean, I have a friend who like prefers that, so that it's up to you. So excellent like utility is that like another one of my points is like, as I said, he's going to be buffing these Geo damage like units and like increasing the characters overall output on damage, and I'm so excited to see how they perform on floor 12 because I kind of just want to mess with that, and so we're gonna see how they do. So you'll have a shield. The only thing you'll kind of be missing is a healer, but if you have shields from Zhongli, I don't know if you'll necessarily need a healer. So we'll see how Itho performs with Albedo, with Goro. They have fat defense buffs, so I can't imagine they'll be taking very much damage even when the shield goes down, because you're gonna get a defense buff from Goro. You get increased damage from Albedo, you get a shield from Zhongli, and then if you just have fat damage from Itho himself, you're going to be doing massive, disgusting damage as it is. So Albedo's looking like a pretty big candidate, and besides, a lot of swords are actually pretty useful on him. So depending on what swords you have, or 5-star sword, 4-star swords, many options out there, you may not need to summon. So I have like a Jade Cutter that I've not used, just because I've gotten it accidentally from summoning on like for the other weapons on these banners that they've shown up on. And so yeah, so I'm probably just gonna throw a Jade Cutter on him. We'll see, depends. I'll cover him and choose like, we'll go over which weapon's best on him in due time. But Albedo is going to be my focus, and we'll see what the 4 stars play out to be. So you might be able to pull on some 4 stars early, but I kind of hope you don't get shafted. Like you might want Eula, but get the 4 stars from Albedo's unit like banner, so you can definitely go that route too. So just pull up till you start getting your pity, and then switch over to Eula's and start pulling for Eula. Which brings me to her. Let's go over now. This chick, I've always heard, some people hate her, some people don't really care for her. Eula, Cryo Claymore user. She is very strong DPS. From what I've seen, she just like pops and taps. It is disgusting. She charges the frick out of her burst, and she can charge up, and it can go even stronger if you charge it with your elemental skill as well. She It's one of the fattest damage bursts in like the game with the elemental burst. So if you crit on it, you'll be disgusting. If you don't crit, I mean, you'll still do fat damage, but you won't do nearly as much. But Eula, generally pretty fat. I wouldn't say she's like #1 like cryo application, but she's like, definitely if you need a DPS and you don't have it. Like this is one of my main points between Albedo and Eula. You don't have a DPS, but you want one. Your upcoming options are going to be Itho or Eula. So take your pick. I know Itho's the brand new shiny character. Most of you people just want to focus on the brand new shiny character, but some of you are waifu chasers. So maybe you just want Eula instead, which is okay. And that's perfectly fine with me. So that's up to you. Depends on what you want to do. You do what you want to do. She has like a couple of weapon options. Like you have that 4-star weapon that you have from Dragon Spine that you can definitely use on her. You can use the Serpent's Spine or whatever the frick it is, the Battle Pass if you're a Dolphin, not a Giga Whale. If you just bought a Battle Pass one time and took the Claymore. That's very good on many units as well. And we'll work on her. She has pretty fat DPS. I actually kind of did a little damage test using the numbers on the Wikipedia page of their basic attack combo and see how much damage per second they do. Eula actually barely beats Albedo out. Albedo does 174.276,515. Always go to 5 decimal numbers. And then Eula does about 180.452,145 damage per second. So pretty much about like 6 damage per second difference, which is obviously not a big difference. This is without artifacts. It's just like plain flat damage in the numbers when they're at talent 10. But I mean, obviously it's going to change drastically depending on like your artifacts and how you're building them. Because Albedo, you're probably going to build defense a little bit at least to scale off his E. And Eula, you're just going to be build like straight attack and crit damage and crit rate. So probably the items you're going to be focusing on and physical damage. But overall, she's insanely good like DPS. She has like a fat burst, and she like the main point is also that she's like a better attack speed Claymore user, which a lot of people I think get fed up with the slowness of Claymore users. I personally like them because they have the coolest weapons, but I am an aesthetic unit chaser. I'm not really a best unit god unit chaser, so that's just my preference. It is do be what it is do be. But yeah, so let's run it back a quick second. Albedo, if you're have the primos to be able to go forward and summon for more of the expensive units, aka Itho, Goro. Well, they're going to be on the same banner, so you'll be able to get, most likely going to get both of them. I hope you don't get shafted. Hopefully you don't get like Itho first multi and just don't get Goro. You'll probably keep summoning anyway, though. Albedo's going to fit perfectly with that team. He's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to hit you guys up with that because it's going to be beautiful, and I can't wait to be running my Albedo. Eula, fat DPS. She's a cryo, which I think a lot of there's actually like 3 like fat cryo DPS units, which is insane. So she's one of 3, and I don't know if she's the best. Like you definitely have Ganyu or Ayaka as other choices. So if you don't really like Claymore users, you definitely have 2 other units. They haven't had reruns, so we'll probably be hitting reruns on those eventually as well. So keep that in mind. You have Eula now. Who would you prefer? Ganyu, Ayaka, or Eula? So you have 3 other three main options for cryo. It's up to you. Do you like Claymore users? Do you not like Claymore users? That's just like some things that I wanted to cover. So overall, that's my coverage. Do you need DPS? Do you need a more supportive unit? That's your overall run back. So let me know what you guys think. Who are you going to summon on? Are you going to summon on Albedo or are you going to summon on Eula? Who are you feeling the most? So that's all I have for you guys. I'm a boy Roman Puss, and I'm going to be taking off. Yeah, peace, beautiful people.